Would that be correct? We did. It was pulled by Councilmember Gamble and they wanted to make this a public comment.
Okay.
So the council agrees to take item number 5B10 as a public comment. So we need is
No, you don't have to vote to
we
do
don't have to
that.
vote, we just agree to.
So Mr. Green is here to provide a staff briefing on that item?
Yes, Mr. Green.
Mr. Mayor, if I may,
Yes, Mr. Jones.
it may be, we need clarification on whether they
What
want
the
to know
concerns
about
are?
the purchase of it or whether it's the use of it or.
That and
Correct.
sir, if you can come forward,
Absolutely.
state your name and place of residence and state your concerns.
My name is Matthew Papke. I live in
Please speak into
Tempe
the-
by ASU. And honestly, this is the first time I heard this agenda item, but I do have some questions, and I hope I get a few answers. First question would be, what is the demand that is dictating the desire to purchase these items? Generally, fingerprints are utilized during booking process, which is done downtown, which would mean you have somebody who's already had enough probable cause and or been arrested so that they're in the actual booking center. Having these mobile, I don't understand the purpose for them, because to my knowledge, we're secure in our property, our papers, our rights, and we have freedom of travel without being unduly detained, without probable cause or being under arrest. So the question, first and foremost, is what is the demand that's saying that we need 30 of these on the street? Secondarily, what policies are going to be in place to ensure that the citizens have the opportunity to either opt out if they're not being arrested or being booked? And thirdly, what assurances can the department make that these mobile fingerprinting devices are not going to be utilized in a way that infringes upon our Fourth Amendment?
Okay. I think we need Chief Griff to come forward. Chief, could you address some of the questions that have just been asked?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm not sure I copied all the questions, but one of them has to do with, I believe, the rights of individuals. Us utilizing this tool does not change the constitutional rights of an individual, nor does it place any additional restrictions or demands on an individual being stopped by a police officer. This tool we're using is a mobile device to assist officers as a tool in the field with identifying an individual. In fact, what it will do for us, it can actually assist an individual. If we have probable cause to effective arrest, the officer has quite often in many situations the discretion to arrest a person, take them into physical custody, take them into the Tempe Police Department, fingerprint them, book them, photograph them, and then release them on charge. And by utilizing this device, we can in some cases eliminate the booking process in the jail and release the person out in the field without having to go through the formal booking process. So it actually it streamlines the process for the citizen, it streamlines the process for the officers, and actually a very cost-effective tool for us.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
May
Thank you.
I ask a follow-up question?
Yes. Can you please step to the microphone, please, sir?
So, thank you for answering, Chief. So, under what instance would somebody be fingerprinted mobily? Is it only when they're arrested and they're physically arrested, or is this something that your department would offer to utilize under detainment or even just a random stop?
Okay, the issue has to do with when we are going to use these. Let me back up for just a second. This is a relatively new device in law enforcement. We have 14 of them out on the street right now that is being utilized as a test program, as many agencies in the valley are doing this. When they will be used is, again, left up to the discretion of the officer based on the situation. If we have a situation, for example, where we make a lawful stop on an individual where we are having investigative detention, the individual does not have any identification on them, and we're trying to figure out whether or not the person is providing false information, we could ask that individual to submit to the fingerprint test. We're not going to hold the person down and force them to take a field test for the fingerprint system. It is a tool to be used voluntarily between the officer and the individual that we could lawfully stop and detain. As far as policies and procedures, one of the things that I'm looking for now is to work with the other police chiefs. I've asked our legal advisor to reach out to all the different law enforcement agencies and start evaluating policies to see if we can get all agencies in the state to have a similar policy. Because the technology is so new, that has not yet occurred. We're currently working on our policy right now. We have a practice, but the policy is being written, but I want it to be consistent and uniform with other police agencies as well.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
And follow up.
This is not for debate, sir. This is for our procurement process. So thank you.
Thank you.